Well, hello again and welcome to my channel. I'm Fraser from Metalworking in France. I've got a little project on today. I'm going to be using the beaver milling machine today. It's quite a bit of work involved. I've got to make 4 of these things. As you can see, they're slightly complex in that there's a radius on the back here. I've got to put a hole in the back here to take a magnet, and then I've got to machine up these angles on here. It looks kind of wedge shaped, but these are in here. There's actually a radius in here as well. So I'll machine it in flat, and then I'll just use a flapper wheel or something just to polish it up and put the radius in there. They're basically, these things will go onto a machine. There's going to be 4 of them altogether. They go onto a machine to guide paper when it's being cut off on a machine. The idea is the paper will slide up here, and they'll get stacked, basically one on top of the other. So follow me in the next few frames and see how this job progresses. Just using the big fly cutter now to get them all the same size. Then I'll trim them down so that they're all the same sort of thickness. Now I'm using a hole saw just to put the outside diameter for the hole for the magnets. The magnet is 30mm diameter by 7mm thick, so I'm going in about 8mm just so that there's clearance, because the magnets will be glued in with a special adhesive. Then I'll use a slot drill here just to take out the middle, the core of the recess. Basically because I need to, the middle bit can be clearance anyway, so it's not that precise. So that's coming out quite nicely. I'll take that in a little bit now just to remove the middle pip, because the next cutter doesn't cut actually right in the middle of the cutter itself. This is basically a carpenter's boring tool to put hinge recesses in. It seems to be working quite well. Here you can see I'm just milling out the clearance for the shaft on the back of these things. Because the milling cutter is actually smaller than the quill on my milling machine, I can't get all the way through. So I'm having to go sort of just over halfway through, and then I'll turn the block over and mill the other side just to clear it. It's only clearance anyway, so it's not that well, not that accurate that I have to join the edges up or make sure everything's perfectly clean. I had to remove the vice jaws basically so that the jaws would open, or the vice itself would open wide enough to take these things. It wasn't quite big enough, but I'll set them into the jaws at approximately 40 degrees. I'll machine these off. I'll do one block at a time. There's no point in just doing one side and then doing another side on another one. So they're coming out quite nicely actually, machining up quite well. I'm going to use a friend's Bridgeport milling machine because I can tip the head at about 10 degrees. I can't tip the head on my milling machine. Well, with the milling head tipped over at about 10 degrees, it gives, with the fly cutter, single tip fly cutter, or any cutter come to that, it gives the impression of a radius, whatever radius you set on the tip of the tool itself. In this case, it's not a particularly big radius. It's only about 80mm for the diameter, maybe 80, 90, maybe 100mm. I'm not sure now. Didn't really measure it, but that's milling out quite nicely actually. As you can see, it's running up and down and creating the concave radius. So that's not too bad. It's nice, a good advantage of a machine where you can tip the head over at an angle. So now we're on the final machining operation. I've just got to cut the top edge now. Machine this down. I'm machining this down at 11 degrees. It's just to form the wedge shape on the top edge. So I've speeded it up slightly so that you can see it properly. Otherwise it's quite a long process. So here we have them all polished up and ready to go. Well, there you are. Nice little job actually in the end. As you can see, these things are quite highly polished. Sorry about the fingerprints on them, but we've got 4 of these hollowed out of the back to take a magnet, and this radius here is, the whole idea of that is it sits over the top of a shaft, so that's just clearance. As you can see, they're pretty shiny pieces. Took a bit of polishing actually, but using some wet and dry and a polishing buff. So I haven't got a proper linishing buff, but managed to do this by hand mainly, so it's got a lot of work involved. But yeah, they look quite nice in the end. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. Look out for more videos in the future, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel and to like. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like. It's very important to me and I really appreciate it. And as I say, if you haven't already done so in the past, look back at some of my videos I've made in the past. So, in the meantime, look out for me in the next video. And in the meantime, I'll bid you farewell. Goodbye.